Sixers right now are ranked 26th in three-pointers made, 25th in attempts, and are 29th in bench scoring. Of the two, which one is more concerning to you, being kind of lastly ranked in threes and also almost dead last in bench scoring?
I would probably say threes.
Threes more concerning?
Out of these two, I would say threes. Because you have the leading scorer, right? Joel's the leading scorer, right? In the league. That is correct, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then you have Maxey who can give you 20 plus. The better shooting you put around those two, the better your offense moves and flows. So as we get later in the season, as we get into the playoffs, those guys are going to see a crowd, double teams, crowd, double team, crowd. So the better you can expand that defense and knock down those open shots, the better it is for your team. Bench points, you can find different ways to help your bench points. You can put Kelly on the bench and have him come in and be more of a scoring guy off the bench. There's ways you can address that with what you have. But as we just seen in this game we're talking about, not shooting well from three and how it can, change things. So I just think in order for those guys to continue, they need to continue to play. Your top two players continue to play the way they're playing. But like I said, as the season goes on and they're ready in the playoffs where you're playing the same team, they're going to be dialed into not giving those guys easy looks, easy plays. And they're going to make other people shoot the ball.
Yeah, we're going to have to make them. What makes you feel a little better about bench scoring is that Boston's only ranked two higher than us. So, but they are top heavy. They've kind of cashed in all their chips, right, and got the top heavy team. That's why their bench scoring is low. We're supposed to be a deep team. So, second to last in bench scoring.
Boston, I think that, I never really, they had Brogdon last year, but I never really looked at them as a bench team like that anyway. Like Al, they may bring off the bench when Williams was there, but I think that they have. I think the difference with Boston bench, they have timely scores. They have a guy that'll go off. He may not do anything for a game, so somebody else comes in and goes off.
Yeah,
have some timely scoring.
Yeah, they were 20th last year in bench scoring, Boston. We were 21st. We've gotten worse with a deeper squad, which is weird, but that's also because I think you have two guys doing like all the heavy lifting on our team.
We also had Maxey come off the bench some last year too, right?
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, so really, if you kept starting him, we probably would have been even worse last year in bench scoring.
Remember that he didn't agree to. Remember that part
that he did and didn't. No, that agreed to. It was his idea for a while. Remember, it went from his idea to never even liking it. Yeah, it's great. What a change.
Yeah.
So last year we were ranked 12th in 3-pointers made per game. I guess you can pinpoint Harden for some of that drop, right? Harden accounts for 4 to 5 threes a game. So that's missing that. We didn't really replace that. You could say between Oubre and Batum, but Harden also accounted assist-wise for 3-point makes. And we lost Niang. Yeah. Forgot about that. So Niang and Harden, that's about 7 to 8 threes a game between those two. That's a lot, right? But now we have the mid-range king in Embiid, so who's taking more than ever. And I think he's taking less threes this year. So that's one other thing right there. I'm not that I would be more concerned with threes for all the reasons you named, because we're going to need to hit those. We're going to need to take them. Because we have some good 3-point shooters. We always use another one. I think and hope that the versatile guard that we add can boost both of these things. Whether it's the Jones or Caruso off the bench, or whether it's the Murray, Brogdon, Bruce Brown who starts and pushes someone like Melton to the bench, I think it can boost both these things. I think depending on the trade we make, can really help both these things out. I think they will. So either way, again, Oubre's inconsistent play, I think, is forcing us to be like, okay, we need like another guy who can like possibly put up 10 to 15 points, because Oubre either scores like 13 or like 5. But yeah, I personally think, our trade's going to help both these things. I think that's what they're looking at.
It's interesting because we talked about the other day. I'm just seeing right now there's reports. Jake Fisher just reported something we talked about the other day. Sixers are one team that currently appears as a real possibility for Kyle Lowry should the 6-time All-Star enter the buyout market. And then another report from Jason Dumas, quote, I don't anticipate anything major happening, but a name to monitor and keep an eye on is Spencer Dinwiddie. That's a name we haven't addressed ever. Of those two guys, which would you? I mean, obviously Dinwiddie probably more prefer that a little bit more so than Lowry. But how would Dinwiddie fit on this squad?
Yeah, I mean, Spencer would be a what? That would be a trade or
trade
buyout? Like what is it? What would that be?
He'd probably be a trade.
I have to see what you're giving up for.
Yeah,
I have to see what you're giving up for. Because Kyle would be a free agent. It's hard to compare a trade versus a free agent.
Yeah.
Even though Spencer gives you that versatility I was talking about.
Yep.
Being able to defend multiple positions, being the primary ball handler. Like he kind of solves, kind of like fits in that mold. Whereas Kyle fits into the primary ball handler, but not the versatility.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Dinwiddie's not small. He's 6'5", so he's not like a small guard by any means.
No, he's not.
So that helps that too. If you have a bigger guard, he can guard the bigger guard, or he can come off the bench. He can spot start. You can have him as primary ball handler. Man, his 3-point shooting has taken a dip the last 2 years. He was shooting 40% in Dallas, and he came back to Brooklyn, 29 and 33%. Those are like Westbrook numbers right there. But
hey, what Russ got to do with this, man?
The second it came out of my mouth, I was like,
stop being like that, man. Like, seriously, man, stop being like that. That man ain't got nothing to do with this conversation. He ain't got nothing to do with that guy.
The percentages are close.
There's no reason to bring him up.
The percentages are close. There's no reason to
bring him up. He has nothing to do with Spencer Dinwiddie. Spencer Dinwiddie is Spencer Dinwiddie. Russell Westbrook is Russell Westbrook.
The only comp
Westbrook is the first ballot Hall of Famer. They aren't the same.
Absolutely. I'm not comparing their overall stats.
They aren't the same.
They're not the same, but
they're 3 point. So what are we talking about?
What their 3-point shooting is.
Okay, so they compare Russ to a first ballot Hall of Famer. Do that. That's what I'm talking about. Like, don't. That's disrespectful, man. That man ain't got nothing to do with this conversation, man.
All right. I mean, so he's not okay. So he's shooting 29% and 33%. Not very good numbers.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I don't know how much it's going to help us in the 3-point shooting department. Probably not very good, but
it would help the bench though. I haven't seen enough.
To be honest with you, I haven't watched the Nets enough. I know that I read something about people saying him not playing well. I didn't know what not playing well looked like. I didn't know what that meant because I don't watch them enough, so I don't know what him not playing well. Is it just his shooting? Is it his playmaking? Like, I don't know what it is. As you can see, his 3-point shooting isn't as good as it was, but is it him? Is it scheme? Is it shot selection? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, because people weren't high on us signing Kelly either, and he's played well here, so you just never know.
True.
Yeah, he's averaging 6 assists in the season. 13.2 points a game. I mean, he's solid. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's a versatile guy, so I think that does hit on a few things that we are going for. If we are going to move him off the bench, be a good guy to have, and he can also start too. Curious to see, like Eric said, I'm curious to see what we would have to give up for that. So, obviously, yeah, we'll monitor that situation.
Right. Yeah, it's his final year of his deal too, so
that does seem like something we are looking for.
Yeah, it would also seem like something we wouldn't have to give.
He's
a lot
in the final year. Oh, somebody's gonna take Spencer if he's in the final year of his deal. Somebody's gonna take him. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he'll definitely get picked up. Someone.